schools better. In a nationally broadcast address to students, the president said today, when it comes to your education, take control of it yourself.
You must take control. Go to your teacher, or go to your principal, or go to your parents, as difficult as it may be. Go to the school board if you have to. Demand discipline. And if good people chicken out, bad people take control. Together, we can. I really believe this. We can drive the drugs and guns and senseless violence out of our schools.
With reaction now from students in Lebanon County on the president's address, here's Action News reporter Sean Young.
Which one of you won't make it through school?
The faces were different, and they were watching from a television monitor far from Washington, D.C. But these students at Annville-Cleona High School paid close attention to George Bush's national address about education. And after the address was over, they spent the better part of a class period talking about it.
Going to your, teachers or whatever.
George Bush says American students can do better, but many of these students say the same thing of George Bush where education is concerned.
He talks about all these different problems, and he says that they're going to be solved, but meanwhile he doesn't say what he's doing to solve them. He doesn't say how they're being solved. He doesn't ask anybody to do anything to help solve them.
Some students here at Annville-Cleona say today's presentation was nothing more than a public relations stunt to prove that George Bush is the education president. They say that while talking education today was a good idea, he didn't offer any solutions. The reaction of these four students was that the president didn't aim his statement at a wide enough group of students, but went specifically for a young audience.
They probably just picture him as a president and as someone, well, if he says it, then it obviously must be true and that's what they should do. But really, they're just going on just their initial thought.
This girl says the president missed the point by trying to blame America's education problems on drugs.
Of course, it does relate. If you do drugs, maybe you might drop out. But then if you don't do drugs, you still might drop out. It really depends on, the environment that you're brought up on.
Teacher Bernie Bell was glad to have the opportunity for an open forum on the president's education message. He believes the president meant well.
In his own way, he felt this was a good way to encourage kids to stay with school and to realize how important school is for their future development.
But the students don't think the president's good intentions are enough.
I think President Bush, he has some good theories here and again, but you don't see any, payoff. You don't see any result at all.
At Annville-Cleona High School, Sean Young, Action News 15.